Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee Chat with Lindsay and Neely.
Hey, y'all.
You got your coffee today? Is it decaf or regular?
This is actually not coffee. What are you doing with your life, Lindsay? Okay, this is actually the Marigold Foods collagen peptides in
Ah,
hot cocoa with keto brains in
wow.
it and done with water. And yep, that's what we got.
Sounds delightful.
It is rich and creamy, I will say that.
Yeah, okay, good.
My brain is not operating super awesome. So we're hoping that the keto brains works some sort of
They'll
magic.
they'll come through for you. It'll be good. Well, I have coffee with cream and electrolytes. I don't mention that usually, but I do put a squirt of unflavored electrolytes in my coffee every time. And if I try to drink a cup without electrolytes in it, I'm like, it doesn't taste as good.
Really?
Yeah, it's the
That is
saltiness.
interesting.
It's the saltiness for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
And I know a lot of people just
very
put a
interesting.
salt, and that would probably work fine as well, but I'm like, I have
Yeah.
electrolytes, I might as well just pop them in there.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it. Oh,
Sorry.
and you flipped.
Sorry. It looked weird. I
Oh,
couldn't
okay.
couldn't
I don't know how mine is oriented. It looks normal to me.
Well, and whenever I look at the chat, I feel like I'm just like looking off into
Mm.
space.
Aha, yes. Yeah, because when I look at the chat, it looks like I'm looking off the screen, but I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. Dustin is here. Dustin gets the gold star this afternoon, for being first in the chat. Sing It is a close silver star. Coffee with butter and a side of water. Excellent. I also have my side of Element electrolytes, which sounds really good right now, actually.
Got salty.
What flavor?
Mondo melon.
The new one or the old one?
Nope. The original.
So which one do you like better?
I do like the new one better, as much as I'd hate to admit it. Because there's just, but like the thing is like the Mondo Melon original flavor, it's still so good. It's like,
Yeah.
it's more of a like a creamsicle version of melon to me.
Yes.
It,
Okay.
like it has creaminess to it.
Yes. Okay, so I personally, it's been a while since I've had the original, but I remember really liking it.
Yeah.
And I don't care for the watermelon salt element
Yeah.
because it's too strong to me of like a candy watermelon flavor. It's just too much.
Uh-huh.
I think the new salty Mondo melon is very similar to the element watermelon salt.
Ah, so
So
it's
it's
not
not my favorite.
sure.
I will mix it with like a citrus, half and half, and then that I like that because it kind of tones it down like a watermelon lemonade or something.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is about me.
Melon limeade or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so I do think that salty got more watermelon flavor in it, and I know that a
Uh-huh.
lot of people like that flavor. I think I'm
Sure.
just the weird one that doesn't care for watermelon flavored things.
And you know, that's perfectly fine.
Is it
That
okay?
really,
Are you sure?
it's a thing. It's permissible.
I
At
was
least
worried.
around this little quadrant of the interwebs, it's permissible.
We don't require everyone to like the same things. I know that's
Yeah.
unusual,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
we try to be different around here.
Yeah. 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 I mean, but like, and the thing is people say it all the time, like, you're allowed to do whatever, but then they behave in a way where it's not acceptable to do whatever. And I'm like, I legitimately don't care if you have your own preferences. You are welcome to them.
Totally. Totally. Let's see. Dustin has espresso with butter and heavy cream. I think butter and coffee are the trend today. Is anybody else having butter coffee? It's been a long time since I've done the butter coffee.
Was it David Asprey who does the bulletproof?
Yeah, back in the day. I don't
Back
even
in
know what
the
is up with that
day.
guy anymore. He's into everything. Yeah, but he was the original, the MCT oil, the coconut oil, and where you drink like 1,000 calories of fat first thing in the morning, and then it fixes all your problems.
I think that would, I never actually did the full blown bulletproof coffee like the way that he laid it out, because I am convinced that would have sent me to the restroom for
Um,
at least 4 hours to
yeah.
consume that volume of fat in like the MCT oil in liquid format for me. It needs to be used judiciously.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I did attempt it, but there was no way I could do the amount of fat that, was recommended. I don't know what it was, 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of or it could have been even more. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I tried it once, just to try it, but after that, I was like, "There's no way."
And
It didn't even taste good, and it didn't keep me full either, so it's like, this is doing nothing that it is prescribed to do.
it's not the one for you, and it's not the one for me, but out there in the interwebs, it is for someone, and that
Absolutely.
we are all in for. It's like with the
Again,
keto.
we allow that here.
That's right. With the keto brains, I did not love it in coffee at all.
Okay.
It has too
Yeah,
much of a coconut flavor for me,
yeah.
and I just have like, I don't know, it's just one of those things like I love black coffee.
Mm, I get it.
So it's like having cream in it, it was always like, like, oh yeah, look at me just being fancy today. But
Mhm.
nope, just straight up black coffee. Let's just get down to brass tacks.
Yep. You are a purist. I respect that.
I mean, to some degree. Oh my goodness. I was telling some people at church on Sunday, somebody said something about something or other. And I was like, oh yeah, we need some snacks over here, like some jerky or some pork rinds. Somebody else piped up with pork rinds. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if they'd let me fry them over here. And they were like, what? And I was like, I think I said too much.
Yeah, yeah, it's when you find out you're like, "They're not like me."
I said too many words. Yes, I fry my own pork rinds, and I do it usually in my own tallow that I rendered from the cow that we bought. And I'm just out there a little miss,
Yeah,
doing my thing,
that's
whatever.
that's when you really find out who your people are.
I mean, like they were just like, I don't know that they could even compute the words that I was saying. And I thought, right.
Well, it is very interesting how unaware people can be about where food comes from, and we are
Sure.
know this, but something like a pork rind, if you'd never looked into it, like, how would you know? Like,
How would-
everything goes and even when the whole, pork pellet thing, became popular through I think the 2 Crazy Ketos made it very popular. I wasn't aware of the processing that went into getting the pork skin ready because I was just thinking, "Oh, it's
Yeah.
fried pork skin, like, you just take the pork skin, you fry it." No, there's, like, a whole process of curing and
Yeah.
thing, and I was totally unaware of that too, so, it's like, people don't know. Where do green beans come from? They come from a can. That's all we know. And until you have someone open your eyes. So,
Yep.
and then
And
then
it's fun. It's
yeah,
fun to
and
do
then with
that.
the tallow rendering from your own beef fat, I mean, we all know that y animal fat is unhealthy, and it's so much easier just to go to the store and buy a bottle of canola oil. So that doesn't even make sense to the conventional
Or
brain. Like, why would you even put so much work into doing something worse? Come on, Lindsay.
I am nuts. Have y'all got the tubs of hydrogenated lard at your grocery stores anywhere around?
Yes,
I
yes.
I think
That's
that one's entertaining. They're like, "Oh, lard. Grandma used to cook with lard. I'll just use lard." And it's like,
yeah. No, no. And why would you need to hydrogenate lard? I mean, hydrogenation is to make a liquid fat solid. Lard is already solid.
it's just a good time. It's so fun. So fun.
Yeah, yeah. We're just weirdos around here.
And we like it that way. And you are welcome to sit with us. You can sit with us and have your own little quirks and
Yeah,
fun little things.
yeah. Totally true. I mean, I'm not even keto anymore, and Lindsay's still keto, and I haven't disowned her yet. I mean, I considered it because Because obviously, if I eat a certain way, I require all of my friends to eat the same way, or else I can't be around them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, really, you're fortunate that I kept you, to
that's
be
true.
honest.
That's true. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Oh, it's so funny. Every time I post a video now that even mentions that I'm not keto anymore, I go into my analytics and it's like minus 40 subscribers.
Oh my gosh.
It's funny though, because like as soon as it posts, I'll start seeing subscribers drop off. But then after a couple of days, I'll start seeing the count go back up. So it's like other people are finding me
Sure.
because maybe they're more interested in what I'm saying. So it's like, and that makes sense to me. Like people are there just for the keto. They're, moving on, which is totally fine. And then other people who are interested in transitioning from keto to something else, those are the ones, and that's the way it should be.
I gotta be real clear on this one. I feel like I have a lot of subscribers to my channel. And
Yeah.
for that, like that vanity metric is really fun. And I would love to see that grow. But I also like know right here in my sternum that the vast majority of them do not watch. So it's almost one of those moments where you're like, maybe you could go ahead and let me know you've moved on by unsubscribing.
Sure.
So that way you get a more clear understanding of what's going on here. But also it's a weird thing to have to try to navigate.
It's very true. Yeah, you'd think, I have over 100,000 subscribers. Each video should be getting at least 100,000 views, right? Obviously. Not even close. Not even close. Yeah.
Right. It's like I would say
The numbers don't match up.
The numbers don't match up, and that's totally fine. I'm sure that there are a dozen channels that I'm subscribed to that I don't watch anymore, but it's like that one time that they had that one video, I want to come back to that one thing and I've got it saved and I don't remember to go and unsubscribe for whatever reason. I don't know. This is a tangent that we just found ourselves on, isn't it?
Sure is. Yeah, I will do I'll find somebody's video for whatever reason and I'll be like, oh, they look interesting. I'll subscribe. And then if a certain amount of time goes by and I never click on one of their videos, like none of their videos in my feed.
Subscription deals.
Yeah. If it doesn't catch my interest, then I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not interested. And then I unsubscribe. And that, it's totally fine. Because we don't get paid via subscription number. Like that's not how it works. The whole getting paid by YouTube is a whole complicated thing. The only thing that I think the subscription number helps you with is if someone's looking to sponsor you, they'll see it and they'll be like, oh, wow, they have a lot of subscribers. That's the only, but then at the same time, I'm like, I worry that they'll be disappointed.
Yes.
Like, oh, wow, they have so many subscribers. And then I put out a video and don't get enough sales or whatever for them. And then they're like, oh, that was a waste of time.
Right.
Internal thoughts that, we have as YouTubers.
There's
a lot of imposter syndrome that I have to work through in my head where I'm like, I do have a lot of subscribers, but I just posted a video and it got less than 1,000 views. I give up.
I have decided in my brain and in my mind and in my head too.
All of them?
Have you not seen School of Rock with Jack Black?
No.
Oh. The reference was lost on you. Okay.
There was.
I just, in my head, I'm like, I know that there's all those people that are subscribed to me, but the reality is like, I'm probably going to hit like 500 people watching on any run of the mill video. And to those people, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Well,
that's what matters.
Just think about having 500 people in a room listening to you.
I mean, like for me, that
on YouTube, we're like, well,
that's
only
awesome.
500. Come on. Like, that's crazy. In what world, in what time in history could we just say something to 500 people anytime we want?
And not even that, it's like whatever we feel like saying.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
It is so strange. We live in such a weird time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
Spring break. Yes, we're on spring break here and we're getting some beautiful weather, which is amazing. It was almost 80 degrees yesterday. It was crazy.
Are you actually like spring breaking with your kids' schoolwork and everything?
No, not with the
Neither are we.
schoolwork, but we end up having more time for fun stuff, like because we don't have youth group, we don't have
Yes.
lessons, like so it's kind of a break from the extra stuff. And then with the weather being nice, it's like, oh well, we should do something then.
Yeah. For us, our area has spring break this week.
Okay.
So, all of our activities except for writing lessons and then grandma piano lessons have been just like on pause. And I'm thinking, I kind of like it. It feels like pre-summer summer.
Yes. Yes. All the running around and driving places every day. I'm so sick of it.
Well, and y'all have a farther distance to probably drive to get into
Mhm.
town than what we do. But even still, like a 17 to 20-minute drive into town, it
Mhm.
feels like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'd
Um,
much rather live outside of town than in town. So
right.
I'm not going to
Well, and
complain.
the crazy thing for us is we're about 20 minutes from town too. So like I don't know how we ended up where we're at. Where we're out in the country enough, but we still can get
Yeah.
same-day Amazon deliveries and stuff. It's like
Yes. Yes.
Marie says, realize that the citric acid and other electrolytes has been causing acid reflux. That is an important thing to know. And ordered the salty
Yeah.
sample. That's great because they use the malic acid. Hopefully you don't have
Right.
trouble with malic acid, but that is a great option. I'm very glad that salty has that option because I know there are people that have issues with all different ingredients.
Indeed. Also, Salty just like released their new packaging and their updated everything for
Right.
all of their bottled products, which is so cool.
I know.
They
So
look
cute. I
slick.
love it. Very slick. Your melon video was hysterical. Yeah, the conflicting emotions. Yeah, I felt all of them. I went through the roller coaster and,
I like to
mostly the
take
anger.
I like to take people on a full experience. Like if you don't have them in hand, how are you gonna know? I have to give you that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I would be on board for a grape salty as well. I know it's not for everyone. Are you a grape person?
I mean, unpopular opinion, I couldn't care less.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's unusual. Most people are either for or
Very
against.
polarized. I'm
Yes.
not even like there's a Venn diagram for it. I'm
Okay.
not even in the diagram. I'm like,
Okay.
I genuinely could not care less.
Okay. Dustin, have you tried the kids relight grape? Because it is quite good. It's not as salty, but of course you could add a little bit more salt if you wanted to. But it has natural color in there, so it's nice and purple, like a purple Kool-Aid. It's pretty
That's
tasty.
fun.
It is pretty tasty. Let's see. Pat says, thanks for all your wonderful information and support. Just made my first batch of Elroy and it turned out amazing. Oh, I'm so glad. Have
That's
also been using EMR
awesome.
Tech Inferno and loving it. Yay! Yeah, for anyone else that has ordered from EMR Tech during the sale or right after the sale, there we go. uh, sorry. If you haven't gotten your order yet, they are working really hard to get them out. Apparently my video hit the algorithm just the right way. and, and they kind of got flooded with orders and they are working double time to get back to all the emails, to get all the orders shipped out. So please have some patience. They are working really hard, and you will get your order eventually. It'll be worth it, trust me. So I'm so glad that you are using it. That is awesome. Risa is here. Good afternoon. Let's see. In 2016, about 2 years ago, I drank bulletproof coffee. Okay. 30 ounces of coffee. How did
You're
that
like,
work
I
out for
drink.
you, Dustin?
Keep going.
Oh Lord. I can't even imagine our bodies being able to like do anything with that except just completely flush it out. Maybe that's how it works to lose weight. Oh my gosh, that would be intense.
So wait a minute, 165 grams of fat. If we take the equation of approximately 9 grams or 9 grams of, wait, 9 calories per gram of fat. That's almost 1,600 calories. Oh, almost 1,500 calories. That's a
That is
lot.
intense. That is
That's
intense.
a lot.
Yeah, went through like 5 immersion blenders.
Immersion blender
Oh,
is my
Lord, it was a
favorite.
good time.
I will always replace an immersion blender if it dies. It's my
Oh,
favorite.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Must
Um,
have.
yeah, 2016 was a special time. It is so funny to look back at all the trends. And just
Yeah.
this past Sunday, I did a interview chat with Dr. Nikki
Uh-huh.
from Gut Microbiome Queen, and she was very much in the same like paleo world that I was in back in 2010, 2011. And so we can compare notes, even though I didn't know of her then, I didn't know her at all.
Sure.
But like we had a very similar history through that paleo time. And so it's kind of funny to look back on all because she was talking about, back in the day where everything was candida. When anybody
Yes.
any problem, it was candida. I totally remember that. I did the candida cleanses. I did that. And then everything was leaky gut. And so you're doing
Oh,
all the L-glutamine and the bone broth.
yes. Yes.
Yeah. And now it's oxalates. Everyone has oxalate poisoning. And
Well,
then
and I feel like oxalates had their day back then too. Like I can remember
true.
2014, like going through all of that and like, oh, if you've got eye crusties, you've got oxalate dumping, so you need
Yeah.
to like lay off the things. And so it's
Yeah, there
like,
was the oxalates, the saponins, and the
oh, yeah.
I don't remember the anyways, all of the anti-nutrients that you get from grains and legumes. Yeah, that was definitely along with the whole paleo movement. And then now I think it's everyone has CIRS, chronic inflammatory response syndrome, and mold poisoning. All of these things are real things, I believe, and I do believe that
Yes.
there are people that have all of these issues, so I don't wanna make light of it, but it's just funny how things can kinda sweep through and all of a sudden
Diagnose.
everyone has them.
Right. And self-diagnoses seem to have trend patterns.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think people in social media are called influencers for a reason.
It's valid.
I've definitely been influenced. I will throw in there that I think SIBO is probably right there in the mix of, the popular things right now. And I know
Yeah.
Dr. Davis is like, I don't remember the exact number, like 70 or 80 or 90% of people in America have SIBO. And I don't know that
That's like a really challenging thing to assert.
sure. And I think he means that that percentage of people would test positive with a breath test,
I
which
see.
may be true. But then Dr. Nikki was talking on my live stream the other day that those breath tests are not 100% accurate.
Reliable.
There could be like a 50% false positive rate. So it's like, anyway, so I think SIBO again is another one of those that is just like one of the popular things to diagnose yourself with.
Uh-huh.
Thankfully, though, with like Dr. Nikki's approach and Dr. Davis's approach, the treatments are not going to cause negative problems. It's like manage your stress, manage your sleep, get all of your nutrients, add some probiotics. Like it's all like exercise. It's like all the things just to make ourselves healthy. So it's not,
Right.
it's not like going on a crazy candida cleanse and taking all of the antimicrobials and never touching sugar again and like all or never touching fruit again. All the stuff like that that can lead into other things.
For sure. And I think that anytime that there is like I think people feel more in control of something when they can name
Mm.
what they're feeling. Like they have some sort of a name that is universally understood. Well, not universally, but widespread understanding about like I have this thing. Like people who have celiacs or are gluten intolerant or gluten sensitive, they can easily say like I have to be gluten free, and a large swath of people understand that. So it's easy to say those things, but generally speaking, like a lot of these things when they can be cleared up with just lifestyle
Mm.
management techniques, it feels a lot more like, oh, this is just everyday life. Here we are.
Yeah.
We're just going to
Which
live our lives.
which isn't as fun. It's really
No,
fun to be
no.
like, ooh, this is the new diagnosed issue that I have, and ooh, I'm going to research all the diet tweaks that I need to make and all of the supplements I need to add, and like, you kind of can get into that dopamine cycle, the same as like trying to find a weight loss diet or trying to find the new exercise program. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's candida. Oh, well, then, and it, for me, I know it gives me an excuse to ignore the other lifestyle stuff that I know that I should be doing that's not giving me that dopamine hit.
I'm going to need you to
Hyper
stop
focus
being so aggressive right now. Did you wake up and choose violence, Nili? How dare you come for me?
on just, I gotta just speak my truth here.
Side note, everybody, usually I'm the one that wakes up and chooses violence. And I don't mean
And I get
physical
to hear
violence.
all about it.
I mean like frustration pent up inside, and it
Not
just
physical violence. Please don't worry.
never
He is
physical,
not punching people on the street or anything.
never physical violence. It's a lot more debate and a lot more. I see logical fallacies and I have to shout about it.
Internal struggle, internal
right.
violence.
Right. Warring against myself.
Yes. Oh, goodness sakes. We're on a roll today.
Oh my word. The weather shifted here. It got to be like 70 or so degrees before the actual first day of spring. And now it's back down into, I want to say this morning, Molly tried to go out and climb trees and it was like 36 degrees outside. And I was like, what is this nonsense? What is this? So I think the colder weather has gotten me a little engaged.
Oh dear. Well, I have both of my windows open. I can hear the birds and the frogs. Like the sound of the frogs here in the spring is extremely loud. And, it's a nice sound.
symphony.
It is. And I have the creek out here. Like it's kind of magical.
It's as close to being outdoors as you can get right now while
Right
still
now.
having access to the internet.
Exactly. So I am loving it. I'm so happy. Cindy's here. I did a live stream with Cindy on Friday, so that was
Yeah.
catching up again. I can't believe how long it's been since we met up at KetoCon.
Oh my gosh, right? That feels like an entire lifetime ago. Ridiculous.
Yes. Oh, so I'm going to Austin for my sister's wedding in April.
Right?
And while I am there, I just found out that there is, I forget what it's called, that it's like the health something or other conference.
Okay.
And it's happening while I'm there, and it's at the Palmer Event Center, same place we had KetoCon.
Cool.
And there's going to be Gary Brecka's going to be there. I don't know if you've listened to much from him.
I have not.
Max Lugavere and Dr. Axe is going to be there.
No way. Mr. I survived all these awful things. Wow. Oh man, I can remember 2015 signing up for one of the keto health summits that was all online at the time. And Dr. Axe was one of the main keynote speakers and just like absorbing what I could from him.
Yeah, he's really cool. And he's been through a lot in the last couple
of
years. We just listened to an interview of his with Michaela Peterson, which I recommend listening to. It was fascinating, and he's come through a lot, and I think like he's really ready to do some good work right now. So I'm excited to see what comes from his stuff. So anyways, definitely recommend Dr. Josh Axe if you haven't checked him out.
That interview with Michaela Peterson was really cool.
It was a lot of different info, because a lot of times I'll turn on an interview or something. I'm like, I've already heard all of this stuff 100 times, and so when you find something, you're like, oh wow, this is fascinating and different. Yeah, that was one of them. Yeah, on Michaela Peterson's podcast. Okay, Sing It said, no idea about pork rind pellets before us. Where do they come from? A plastic bag. Yes, absolutely. Yep, hurt my feelings when I saw that lard in the store. No. Yeah, it's like, come on, the lard is fine the way it is. Can we please not, mess with it?
I mean, like, to be fair, I kind of question, is it actually pure lard then if
Oh,
it's
sure.
hydrogenated?
True. True. Yeah.
Not trying to question companies' integrity or anything, but also
Mhm. But we all have to make
curious.
decisions about what we buy.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, subscription numbers help with the sponsored content. Some companies have a subscriber threshold. Yep, that is definitely true. That's like the main benefit. And the kudos, that you get from people. Uh, it's a huge accomplishment for me to get to 1,000 views on a video. Yep.
Same.
YouTube is
It
not
happens so
easy.
rare.
YouTube is not easy. And so, I'll have people ask me like, give me your best advice for being successful just like you on YouTube. And I'm like, I don't know.
Life.
Like, I feel like I'm at the mercy of the algorithm, and sometimes it's nice and sometimes it's not. And, all of the tricks to make things happen never really work out for me. And it's always the things that I don't expect will go viral are the things that really take off. And I'm like,
Yep,
sorry, I have zero help for you.
that's right.
Uh, okay. Let's see.
Did you see Lynette is here?
Lynette is here. Hi, Lynette. So when we fly to Austin, we are going through Salt Lake City both ways. And so if we get stuck, um, we'll be calling Lynette and the bears to come save our lives.
Hey, friend.
Yeah.
Any chance that we could
Friends.
hang with you for a little bit?
Yeah, that will. So I'm secretly hoping that the plane breaks down or something.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Let's see. I want to make sure we get to any questions that we need to get to before we talk about our. We're already 34 minutes in, or 32 minutes in.
He's so helpful.
I'm thinking about trying that, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll work, but I'm thinking about it. So
Right. Yep. Good plan.
Oh, husbands, if we only did our YouTube channels the way that our husbands told us we should, we would, have already taken over the world.
The entire world.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can't do it though because they're busy working. So
right.
We have to just follow their directives.
Support our YouTube habit. Someone's got to pay the bills, and it's not us.
Hey, listen, we add value to our lives in tremendous ways that are not monetary.
A lot of that value cannot be submitted to pay the bills. We'll just
fair. It's fair.
Oh, goodness.
Fair.
Okay. Sophia says, also ordered the EMR Tech. I have an old red light from Platinum from about 7 years ago. Oh, you were early on the train. And the new technology is noticeable. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, the EMR Tech, they have a very unique design that I do not see other manufacturers use. Like, they have the cob lights where it's a whole bunch of LEDs in those like center glass bulb things. And I need to find more out about it because it is fascinating. And actually, I'm working towards having a live stream with a couple of the guys from EMR Tech come on and answer a bunch of questions like that, like where I can really pick their brains about how, their products are different and, their experience with red light and dosing and all of that kind of stuff. So hopefully I can get that scheduled before I go in the middle of April, but we shall see because I have so many questions like that. But yeah, I do think that the EMR Tech panels are mighty powerful. And I've actually had to cut down on the amount of red light therapy I was doing because I was getting a little bit of negative effect. And I think it's just because they're so incredibly powerful. So I'm, doing no more than 15 minutes per day, and I'm playing with not even doing it every single day, which is crazy.
I wonder if it's similar to like whenever you get vitamin D stores kind of
Yeah,
replenish, and then you don't need to consistently dose yourself to the max every single day kind of
right.
a thing. And it's more of just like a supplement every
Yeah.
so
Yeah, 'cause
often
it
kind of a
it
thing.
took me about 3 months in order to start seeing, and the negative effects, they're nothing dramatic, but just like a little bit of a tension headache, the same kind of thing I get from sitting in front of a ring light for too long or doing too much computer work, and, like some itchiness, like my eyelids were a little bit itchy, and
Okay.
just taking 1 day off of the red light therapy, they went away, and I didn't lose the benefits, like, I still saw my HRV stay high and all of that, and, to be honest, I was pushing it because I'm very much a if some is good, more is better type person, which I'm working to not be that way. Because and it's so easy to sit in front of the red light because it feels like you're on the beach with sunbathing. And so I would, be sitting there doing something on my phone and be like, oh, it's been 30 minutes. And so I'm sitting in front of it for 30 minutes when 20 minutes is typically said to be the max. And anyways, I'm working on finding my perfect maintenance dose, but I do think that, you know, I was deficient, if you want to call it that, and needed what I was getting in the first couple of months, and then now I'm trying to kind of tease out what my maintenance dose is. So, yes, I do believe that the EMR tech devices are mighty powerful. Doo-doo-doo. It's crazy to look back on the keto trends over the years. Absolutely. I remember the more coconut oil you eat, the more fat you will lose trend.
I remember
That
that
was fun.
too. Oh, I've got
Coconut
a
oil,
gallon of
everything.
coconut oil. I'm gonna lose 4 gallons worth of
Oh.
garbage off my body.
Yeah, that was fun. That was real fun.
Wouldn't it be fun if that's the way it worked?
I know, wouldn't it? I keep trying to find something like that, and none of them work out for me, so dang it. Carol, you're very welcome. I'm glad the advice helped. Da-da. Everyone's saying hi. Um, Risa tried the bulletproof coffee a few years back and didn't like the butter slick on the top of my cup. No, does not sound fun. I did like the flavor. Now I use Keto Brains or Four Sigmatic creamer in my cup. That is excellent. And it's just such a shame because butter is so delicious.
Oh my god.
What a shame to waste
Oh
that
god.
much butter on something that you don't even enjoy.
Right? That's
Like, put the butter on
yeah.
some vegetables or on a steak or, like, have the butter to its fullest potential.
Right. Give it all of its due moment.
Now, if you enjoy
Call it.
the lots of butter in the coffee, no judgment, as long as you enjoy it.
For sure.
Or you get, crazy benefits from it, like,
Mhm.
they say.
I mean, I personally don't even do the butter in the keto chows just because for me, I know a lot of people, tout that as being like the ideal flavor, like enhancer for the keto chow flavors. Not for me. Not for me. It's
Mm.
it's got to be the MCT oil powders.
Okay. Excellent. Low carb spin is here. Thanks for hitting the like button. And you know what? That work. Priorities here. Come on.
Hey, but we also genuinely appreciate that you catch us on a replay. Like that is so sweet.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes, the cob of LEDs make it feel warmer and yes, more powerful. Yeah. I don't know all the mechanisms of how that all works, but
Sure.
I think it's true. Um at least coconut oil was $17 a gallon back then. I haven't
Man,
bought coconut oil much recently. I usually get it at Costco.
I would buy the big white tubs that had the handles on them from, is it Nutriv or something like that?
Nutriva.
Yes, that's the one. Something to that effect.
Yeah.
And I always loved getting it in those tubs because then I could clean the tubs after I was finished, and they made fantastic buckets for 1,000 different things.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I do the tubs from Costco now, and I think it's Kirkland organic coconut
Okay.
oil. But we don't eat a lot of it now because same what
Yeah.
Lynette is saying, can't eat coconut oil to this day because of that. Yes. It's the same for me with coconut flour. I tried so
Yeah.
hard to make things that tasted good with coconut flour, and it got to the point where I was like, I can't even eat the stuff. It is repulsive to me.
Yeah, I think that coconut flour, like as a flour substitute on its own and not blended together with other flour
Yeah.
substitutes, that's a tough good to swallow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oop, I didn't mean to click on that, but now they say now that butter helps with belly fat. Yeah, I remember the butter makes your pants fall off YouTube channel from back
Craze.
in the day. Yeah. It's never worked for me, but not to say that won't work for somebody else. Remember, no judgment. Everyone can have their own their
I
own thing.
feel like for
I
men,
wish it did.
it might work a little differently since their hips are not generally
Mm,
intended to be as wide as women's hips
mm,
for, like the birthing differences and whatnot. So
I
I'm
think
thinking
so.
for men, their pants would probably fall off a little more, a little more
Yeah.
easily if I'm
Yeah.
just trying to apply a little bit of, critical thinking skill to
Yeah.
it.
Although if I only ate butter, I probably would lose weight.
I would too, probably, because
Because
I
there's
would
only
not
so
eat
much you can
anything.
absorb, and the rest just flushes right through. So, I mean, I guess if you look at it that way.
The all butter diet. It's a butter fast.
Yes. Oh, that's gonna be the next craze. I think Dr. Boss has even recommended that before. It just doesn't sound fun.
I mean, like as a kid, I loved eating pats of butter, and
Mhm.
for the longest time, like if I was really hungry, like I would consider like, maybe I'll go get a pat of butter because I don't know what else to eat.
Yeah.
But these days, it's a lot less desirable.
Yeah. I remember when Levi was, like, I don't know, 3, I was putting butter on something for him, and he was like, "Mom, I need 3 butters." And, I'm cutting it off of the stick. So I don't know exactly what 3 butters meant, but I understood that he just meant a lot of butter.
I mean, I will agree that if you can't see teeth marks in butter whenever you've slathered it onto something, then it's not
Not
quite
enough.
enough.
No.
But
Yeah.
it needs a vehicle sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in the butter needs a vehicle phase of life if I'm going to eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not one of the butter influencers that likes to, just take bites. I don't find it pleasant.
I used to, but not now.
Okay. 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 Well, we did have a topic for the day.
Allegedly.
Now that we're 45 minutes in, maybe we should talk about it. But I feel like we covered a lot of good stuff, a lot of
Oh,
reminiscing
yeah.
over, past trends and things. Talking about some red light therapy. That is a non-diet health habit that you can have, which is
Yep.
the focus for March. And this is our last March live stream.
Which is
Um,
wild.
yeah, yeah. So we were going to just talk about a couple other little health habits that hadn't made it into our previous live stream, so maybe we can cover that real fast in the last 15
Yeah.
minutes. The first one that I wanted to touch on is nasal breathing. Let me know in the chat if you guys have gotten onto the trend of mouth taping or any other kind of nasal breathing practices. I don't have all the details in front of me of why it's best for you, but
Yeah.
it is becoming pretty well understood that mouth breathing as a primary, breathing method can lead to some unhealth, allowing for more bacteria to be breathed in. Your nose has more ways to filter stuff out, I guess, and you get more oxygen. So something about more oxygen is better. So anyways, my experience with it as I tried the mouth taping, quite a while back when it started to
I
be
could
popular.
not.
I could not either, and I was like, "What is wrong with me? Maybe this is my problem in life. If I could just get this figured out, maybe it would fix everything." But what I found was when I lay down to sleep, my nasal passages close up. It's like during the day, I breathe through my nose most of the time. Like I'm not just a heavy mouth breather all the time. But when I lay down, like for whatever reason, when I lay down to sleep, it's like I can't breathe enough through my nose. And I do find that at some point during the night, I start breathing through my nose, like my nasal passages open up because when I wake up, I will breathe through my nose and I find it a whole lot easier to breathe through my nose. So I tried the mouth taping. I couldn't get that to work because I just couldn't sleep with it on and I felt like I was suffocating. So what I got just a few months ago is a nasal dilator, nasal expander. What do they call it? I don't even know. A nasal expander, and it just looks like this. Very attractive. So it just goes in and just opens up the nasal passages. And I mean, it took a little bit to get used to, but not as much as the mouth tape. It was pretty easy for
Sure.
me to get used to it. And I find that if I put that in and lay down, I can breathe through my nose. And then at some point in the night, I take it out and put it on my bedside table. Sometimes I remember that I do it, sometimes I don't. But I only need it for that first, I don't know how many hours when after I lay down to get my nasal passages open. And I don't have any kind of like major results from it or anything like something I definitely can contribute to it. But I do think it's a good habit to have. And I think it has helped with my heart rate dropping earlier in the night. That's one of the things on our ultrahuman rings that you can track. It's part of the sleep. The sleep tracking is, when at night do you have the lowest heart rate and you want it earlier in the night. And so I think this has helped with that. It's not like an every night type thing that it always drops early, but I consistently get earlier drops when I use the nasal expander, which makes sense because you're getting more oxygen and maybe that would help your heart rate go down. That's, my guess. So that's basically what I do. And just trying to be mindful of nasal breathing throughout the day. Catch myself breathing through my mouth and like, oh, don't do that. But that's like the extent of what I have done for that. What about you?
Sure. I have done none of those things. And I probably should because according to my ultrahuman ring, I have a very late heart rate drop. Like usually sometime between, I don't know, 3 and 5 a.m. And that is not good. The ring does not like that. It says,
Red.
no. I think the earliest that I've ever had it drop has been like 1:30 in the morning. Maybe like once or twice it's hit that early. So clearly I need to do some things different and try to modify that. And I sing frequently. And as part of that, you need good quality breath support. So instead of like, just like wearing what is it? A nasal expander type thing. I tend to do a lot of like just regular breathing exercises, like box breathing, if you know what that is, where you like breathe in for 4 counts, you hold it for 4 counts, you breathe out for X number of counts, and then hold with no oxygen or no air in your lungs for X number of counts. So you can do that. I find that it's challenging for me to nasal breathe whenever I'm actively talking. I will say that.
Sure. Well, yeah, when you're talking,
it's
challenging
for
be
sure.
more quiet.
And then you go on and but the thing I noticed is that the way the air feels whenever you breathe through your nose versus your mouth, it feels like you don't dry your throat out as badly. It feels like it becomes the right temperature for you to be able to vocalize if you are talking or singing or what have you. Whereas if you are mouth breathing regularly, everything is really dry. Everything is really hard. So I think that good, healthy breathing habits are pretty important overall in general. So I would say that device is really interesting. I've seen a lot of the devices that are the little magnetic stickers you stick on
Mhm.
either side of your nose, and then you put the little
Mhm.
bridge thing on the outside, and it pulls you
Yeah.
open. You get to look like Alex Hermosi.
Mm.
So I've seen those, but
Yeah.
the one that you showed that kind of looks like a hook from the hardware store, that is not the kind the kind that I have seen regularly promoted. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it worked for me. I've tried the, like, Breathe Right strips before. That didn't really do much for me. But the nasal expanders, it works. So anyways, that's an option. Going back to the heart rate dropping
Yeah.
earlier or later. So that's another thing. When I first got my ring, it was like every single night that was red and like, oh, you dropped at 5 a.m. when you want it to drop, like 10 or 11 p.m. And I found that when I started using the nasal expander, I got more nights where it dropped earlier, but it wasn't across the board. And then when I added in the vibration plate before bed, I saw more nights that I got a heart rate drop earlier. So I really think the vibration plate before bed, so I mentioned it before, but I lay down on the ground and I put my calves up on the vibration plate and do that for 10 minutes right before I get in bed. And I find that it's incredibly relaxing, and I get a higher percentage of nights with the heart rate dropping earlier. So like last night I got a yellow. It was good because it was like middle of the night. The night
It was
before,
acceptable.
it was like 10 p.m. It was like perfect. And
I'm
so
trying to look on mine to see where mine was last night
yeah.
as we're talking about it.
So I do think that the vibration plate was probably the biggest factor in getting that heart rate to drop earlier. And I actually, after talking to Dr. Nikki on Sunday, she was talking about the vagus nerve and the importance of toning the vagus nerve. And I was like, because I was remembering how incredibly relaxed I feel after doing the vibration plate in the evening. And I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder if vibration, because I know like the vibration of singing and gurgling or gargling is supposed to stimulate or tone the vagus nerve. I don't know how it all
Huh.
works, but I was like, I bet vibration does. And so I Googled it, and Google says, yeah, there's probably a connection there. Um, and I was like, that makes sense. Cause I just, as after I'm done with the vibration plate before bed, I feel like I've been sedated. Like it's that intense of a feeling. So I have a feeling that, that, and I do think that that's helping me fall asleep faster. And then I
Yeah.
do see a correlation with more nights of my heart rate dropping earlier. So
Hmm.
it kind of all makes sense because when you tone the vagus nerve, you're going into a parasympathetic nervous system. It's like moves you to the rest and digest
Rather
state
than
rather than the fight or flight
better.
state, which of course for sleep is what you want. So I don't know. All those habits seem like they're working together for me to make my sleep. I mean, my sleep has been like 97, 96 score the last couple of nights. So I'm like, I think I'm doing something right here.
That has not been my experience.
Well, you need to start doing your red light therapy, your
Yep.
vibration plate at night.
Yep.
You need to go get yourself a nasal expander. Thankfully, the nasal expanders are very cheap. I think you get a 2-pack for like $17 or something. So, yeah, it is hard. So, I know a lot of these things are expensive. I get it.
They're costly, but they also cost time.
True,
That
true.
that is, I mean, you can go mow a few lawns and be able to, piece together some monies for the monetary side of things. It's the commitment to time that I
Yeah,
struggle with. And I find that doing the vibration plate in the morning is whenever I wind up like thinking, okay, now I'm going to do this. So that for me is good. But
yeah,
thinking about it in the evening, whenever I'm just like, well, I'm all done with life.
yeah.
And I can fall asleep on a dime at night. So
Right.
for me, that part's not the issue. But if it could keep me asleep longer and help my heart rate drop faster or sooner, rather, maybe. Oh, maybe. Look at that. I'm supposed to be thumbs upping that, I guess.
Um,
Hey, I wanted to say really, really, really quickly,
yes.
if you have the funds to get yourself a fitness tracker, the Ultra Human Ring Air, I know Neely posted a link about it. I haven't posted my link about it yet, but you can actually get a little bit of money off. What is
Mhm.
it, until the 31st of this month? And then you can stack the coupon codes on top of it. Like you can use Neely's, you could use mine, you can use whomever's you find. I would imagine Steve over at Sierra's Keto probably has one.
Yep.
But you can save yourself an additional amount of money on top of their already like sale price. And there are some interesting things on the Amazon's big spring sale. Like I see Charlotte, she said that she ordered the vibration plate that I had posted. I found a vibration plate. The Lifespan Pro,
That
I
would
think
be
is,
great.
yeah, for $50.
Yeah.
I
It looks
was
pretty tiny, but
flabbergasted.
yeah.
I mean, if you're just gonna stand on it or sit on it, shock and what? Like that's a pretty wild price tag there. So I think that's
Yeah, that seemed like a really good price, especially, if you don't have a lot of funds to work with. And as long as you're not like a giant person,
sure.
stand on it. Yeah. Anyways, the Ultra Human Ring is 12% off on the listing on Amazon. And then you can stack our 10% codes on top of that. What's your code? Do you know?
Yeah, it is capital letters AMZNRPHY 10.
Oops. Oh dear.
Oh, and now my ultra human is telling me that I need to be active. I've been standing this whole time, but it still wants me to be active.
AMZNR what?
PHY 10.
There's MRPHY. No, NRPHY.
A
This
as in
is weird.
alpha. M as in Mike. Z as in Zulu. N as in November.
Okay.
R as in Romeo. P as in Papa. H as in hotel. Y as in Yankee. The number 1.
I was trying to understand.
The number 0.
Oh, now, and that's not even right. Oh Lord, we're a mess. I don't know why you guys are listening to us.
I mean, unless you're actually just like super entertained by spazzy experiences.
Okay.
It's like Amazon Roofy.
I was trying to make sense of it in my mind, and I was like, this is not. Okay.
Like you did it twice.
That one should be right.
Both of them are right. What's yours?
Well,
you didn't plug yours in.
I don't remember.
Yeah, they yeah.
But I put my Amazon affiliate link in. So use my Amazon affiliate link and use her coupon code. And then we're all covered. Oh, goodness sakes. We're a disaster.
We really are. Be blessed. Be so blessed. Okay, go ahead.
One more thing. Next month is April. April is both of our birthday months. I have a ton of giveaways coming up.
I do. I have at least one, if not 2.
Ooh, nice. They have just been coming in. I have so many. I have multiple red light panels to give away. I have probably an Equip giveaway. I have a rebounder giveaway. I have so many giveaways. And then a ton of other stuff that I just have in my pantry that I am going to be giving away.
It's time to cycle through.
Yes. So Keto Chow, I'm sure will be in there. Element will be in there. Anyways, stay tuned. I will try. Some will be on the live stream. Some will be videos. So just stay tuned. Subscribe. Ring the little bell. So
do all the things that all the real YouTubers say to do.
Yeah, I never say that. I never say that ever. But this is about the giveaways. So you want to be, ready.
You want to be included in the opportunity.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay. Oh, it's Charlotte's birthday month as well. It is an excellent birthday month. I love it. Carol says, I think one thing I come to realize this week is maybe we don't need to fix and change things if they're okay. If it ain't fixed, if it ain't broke,
Don't fix it.
That said, I follow a live on breathing techniques, and it is a decent way to bring calm for me. Yeah, that's awesome. And there are, it's like it's good to always have your mind open and your eyes open for new things to add value to your life. But at the same time, don't just spend your life trying to fix stuff and then forget about living life.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good balance for sure. Oh, Charlotte just ordered keto chow for the first time. So fun.
Why
You're
doesn't
gonna
it like
love
me?
it. It's just so
Why?
convenient. Why don't you have power anymore? You have
I
lost
have
all of
thumbs
your power.
up. I have
Oh,
hearts.
now you have hearts. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Well, we are over an hour here.
Yep.
Sherry says, thanks for the info about the ring. Gonna check those out. Definitely do. They have fantastic customer service. We've had our share of issues, like technical issues with the ring. So want to be
Yep.
totally upfront about that. I shared some about that in my original review, but I will say their customer service is top notch. And if you have a problem, they will take care of you. So gonna plug that.
And that's not us saying that as people that they know that are like on the internet talking about their products. That's us as like incognito, just users of the devices.
For sure. Yep. Okay. Anything else we need to say before we close up here?
Come back for giveaways starting in April.
Yep.
Bye, y'all.
We'll see you in April. Bye, everybody.